There's nothing wrong with having trauma. We all do. You just need to do something about it. Come on, unpack the trauma with me.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. I remember some man say, I don't have no trauma. And I say, you ever lost a loved one? Oh, that's trauma.
That's
Like,
right.
trauma could be any disturbing event in your life.
Right.
I think you were sharing, I mean, you know, especially going through illnesses, you know, relationships, foster system. I got dad OD'd on heroin. I got an uncle OD'd on crack. Another uncle died from drinking alcohol. So I had all the all the bloodline to any of those teams to end up to some kind, you know, to go down that avenue. I remember one time I was going to think about going to avenue. I was thinking about doing cocaine. And, you know, of course we all probably, well, except I don't know. Brad, you ever smoke weed?
No, I have taken some edibles though.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I didn't do that.
I ain't smoked. No,
so you got me on that one then.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you know, weed and all the drinking and stuff. You know, however, you know, but I was wanting to go down even more of a darker hole. But I realized I was doing it just trying to suppress stuff.
Right. Mask the whole thing.
That's all I was doing, right? So trauma could be anything sexual, physical, or emotional, any injury or illness, criminal action, natural disaster, divorce, separation. Some of y'all talked about divorce, separation, abandonment, job loss, financial crisis. Now I want to get into this. Now that we talked about who we are and we've all been through trauma, how has it caused pain for you? I mean, I want to, maybe I'll go back to Rodney. Rodney, you were sharing, you know, like not seeing your parents at a game. It bothers you.
The support.
The support.
That made me to be, I try to be that person for everybody else. That's why I be like running thin all the time, because I'm always trying to support everybody, because I felt like I needed that, you know. And I know, like I said, looking at the background of my dad, he didn't have that. So he didn't know how to navigate that. That wasn't part of his makeup or teaching. But I felt I needed that. And I can't blame nobody, because I look at it, everybody is who they are. And then myself not pushing forward. That's one of the things I always admired about you from the time I met you. Because you're a self-starter and you're ambitious and you just go. And I never had that. Even my sister, she's like that. Well, that's funny, y'all married. But she's the same way. Us growing up, she was like fearless to me. I would look at her, she don't know that, you know.
She know now.
She know now. I always looked at Trevi and said, man, she is fearless. But I'm not like that. I had ability to do, but worrying about what somebody gonna say.
Yeah.
See, and that was my whole life, worrying about what I know. That is, you know, people know me from high school, where I dress. Once I start buying my clothes for the 11th grade on, I changed my whole look. It was based on that. That's where that comes from. See, now it's a part of me, but it didn't start that way. It started that way because I was worrying about what people going to say. Wow. The jokesters, you know, oh, your shoes and this. And, you know, mom was shopping. She doing what mom, she was taught to be bargaining and all this stuff. So he had the Kenny shoes. And I remember on the bottom, it said gas. Well, y'all too young, maybe. It was gas shoes. But you know what wore off first? The G. So you step on the dirt, it's just ass. That's what it said. So the G is gone. And people clowning your pants, clowning your shirt, clowning something. And I was very self-conscious. So I was like, oh, so I'm buying my own clothes.
Right.
I remember my dad telling my mom, said, let them kids buy their own clothes or pick their own clothes. So 11th grade, I worked all that summer. After 10th grade, it was a hard job too. Right. They tried to talk me out of it. They said, they saw how I was coming home looking and I'm dead tired, that I didn't do nothing all summer but work. Wow. And I said, no, I was determined. And so I changed my whole look from that day forward, period. That was me from the rest of my life. However I do it, I do it. But that's where it was based off of.
Actually, that is trauma too, though. Because we deal with one of the things I dealt with where sometimes the kids that come to it and having problems at school, not going to school. And so most times people chase the behavior, you know, meaning like be on time, get out of bed. But what's really driving a white on school? We found out he didn't have clothes. Kids were talking about it. His pants were flooded. We fixed that.
Right.
Then it went away.
Right.
And he started wanting to be at school on time.
Right.
And so, so that's dramatic, for kids. Kids back in my time, when the K-Swiss, if you had the 4 stripes, and then you had fake K-Swiss.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll clown on you, right?
Yeah.
So, no.
And bullying. I dealt with bullying up into elementary because I'm the oldest out of our siblings. So Trivia is my younger sister. So I always wanted
you 6'4",
older brothers.
You dealt with bullying.
Huh?
You 6'4".
I was always one of the tallest kids in the school.
Wow.
But I was mild-mannered. I wasn't aggressive and trying to come at anybody. So you get bullied from these little dudes half your size. And you're like, you know what I mean? But I knew they had big brothers.
Right.
So it wasn't them I was worried about.
It was the backup.
Yeah, it was the backup. And I didn't have that. Now I just wanted to have that backup. So I try to be that for my kids when they're growing up. I remember one day picking up, both for the girls and the boys. Darius one day got in the car, picking him up. I said, "What's wrong with you, man? Son, why are you looking like that?" He said, and started talking about this dude bothering him. "Oh, I busted you so quick." He said, "No, Dad." I said, "Oh, no. Because this is my fault. I never told my parents about the bullying.
Right.
So if you're listening, no, please make your kids feel comfortable to tell you that kind of stuff."
Why you never told them about the bullying?
And see, I never even thought about that. So you just asked me why I didn't tell them.
Is it because you were seen weak?
Could be. I don't know. I never told anybody about the bullying until I got older. But yeah, after school, at the end of school, I would walk by myself because the other kids across the street, they would bully me. They had, they always had their posse, their group. I didn't have nobody. So like I said, that first year, then when Trivia joined me, she's still a girl. So, you can't help me in that department. And so the bullying, I'd never told my parents. But when the girls told me and then my son, I said, "Oh no, that ain't happening to y'all." I lived that. So that particular day I busted you. And, I love the Matrix. So I had a personal Matrix jacket made. It's just fits only me. And it's to the floor. Right. And so I had that in the car. And so Darius like, no, please don't. No, Dad, don't.
Don't put the Matrix jacket on.
When I grabbed the coat, he went, "Oh, don't, Dad. Don't put the coat on." It was windy. I was like, "Oh, this is what this coat is designed to do." Put my dark shades. So Darius got his head. It's like, "Oh, man." So we go in the gym. So when I open the door, I see some kids and they go out. And so I walk in the gym and just stand there because this coat always has its effect all the time. And so I stand there. And so all the staff members, they look in like, "Oh, man." And so one approached me and said, "Hey, how you doing, sir?" Because I'm not smiling. I'm doing all this on purpose. I said, "Hey, it's a young man that's bothering my son. I live like that. I've been through this. He not coming to school being threatened like that." I said, "Darius, where's the young man?" He said, "When the door opened, he saw you with me. He went out the other door."
Oh.
I went, "Oh, did he?" And so the guy, and that's what he did. And this happened to the girls the same way. Bullying, wanted to jump my younger daughter. And I went to the school all black this time with the same coat and the same dark shades. And they was big. I said, "Dad, don't go in the office looking like that." I said, No. Y'all not going to go to school terrified. I've been there.
Yeah.
You're not going to do it. I don't care what they do. Call the police. So I go in the office. So it gets quiet because all they see is this dude completely all black in this long coat all the way to the floor. 6'4", exactly. Black man, right? Yeah. Only black person in the room. So I'm standing there and I don't say nothing. I'm looking. So you see them, they all uncomfortable. I got dark shades on. So the woman approached me. I said, "I want to see the principal." That's all I say. So he said, "Okay." So new principal. So she was from Europe. She came. So "I would like to meet with you in your office." So we go in the office with my daughter, and typically they would close the door. They didn't close the door. So while I'm sitting there, I could see the door, and you see staff members going back and forth like this the whole time. So I told her the situation. I said, "My daughter told me how the children threatened to jump her at school, and you were standing right there, and you didn't do anything. The kids didn't go to office. You let them roll out, and my daughters don't want to come to school." I said, "How is that you the principal? You didn't do anything about it." So she rambled on. She really didn't have an answer. I said, "Since I've been sitting here, your staff is walking back and forth to the office because they're intimidated by my appearance. Not that I did anything." I said, "But my appearance alone have them all on edge." Now imagine my little child coming to school and have to go through that and somebody can jump in. That's terrifying all day. I said, "That's stressful." I said, "I live that." I said, "So if you can't fix this situation, I will be here every single day." And as she looked, I said, "Every day." So Tamara said they took care of it right away. I said, "If not, they're going to see Mr. Johnson at the school."
Every day.
Every day.
Well, I love that too, but also that came from what you experienced
Exactly.
as a child, and that was still inside you.
Yeah, it was.
You really was, and you can correct me. You really was fighting that child for
True.
yourself.
I'm fighting for myself.
You was fighting for yourself.
That's it. You're right. Right on my. I'm not going to let this happen again.
Even though you lied, but I'm really fighting.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was a little emotional. I think, man.
And I hate that I didn't tell my parents, because I know both of them would have been up at the school. But I don't know why I didn't say anything.
But when you talk about it, so I don't know if you do this, so you probably find yourself in life, maybe I'm easily defensive because I got to make sure nobody's doing it to me again.
Yes.
And it comes from probably, it's from that trauma experience. Like, oh, this is why I react. I quick to make probably judgment or really defend me.
Right.
Because from there.
Right.
So now you're like, okay. So, because sometimes we don't unpack the history, the person in front of me dealing with you, like, it's not really you. It's from my past.
Right.
Because that's why I act like this.
I'm protecting myself.
I'm protecting myself. So the more you talk about, like, okay, let me just make sure that I don't show up, from the past,
right.
Because that was my trauma. That's why I respond to people like this. So I got to make sure that don't come out. But the more you talk about, like, oh, I didn't realize where they come from.
Right.
Even though you defend your kid, but it could be something from that past trauma.
I believe that.
That makes sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to let you hurt me no more.
Yeah.
I know when I was in school, just jumping in.
Yeah, no, please do.
It was, I was always nervous to talk. I would stutter a lot, trying to read. It was a big stutter. So I just dealt with it. And through life, never even thought anything about it. But then when I see my kids, if they struggle a little bit at all, I would get all defensive about it. Be at the school. Hey, what's going on with my daughter? Calling the school. I work in the school.
Right.
But then also as a dad, seeing things that's happened in the classroom, I would jump on it right away. Because I had been through so much trauma in school. Just like learning disability, whatever. I survived. Was able to go to college, whatnot. But it was just really hard for me.
Yeah.
And thank God, a lot of supports for me and whatnot. But I just always remember that feeling just arrived. And even just doing this podcast right now, I could actually talk on the air or whatnot.
Yeah.
But years past, I wouldn't be able to do that. So
right.
something I had to work through. But just like you're saying, with your kids, and you don't even recognize it until it comes through your kids on a lot of things that's going on within yourself.
And that was a rough period in your life.
That was a big,
Because kids can be cruel, right? The embarrassment and all this stuff. So that was.
I remember one of the times a kid said some really harsh things to me. I remember in Spanish. I remember it right now. The girl's name, everything. And she says, "How can he speak Spanish? He can't even speak English."
Wow.
And I was in 10th grade, 10th, 11th.
Oh man, you was in high school.
I was in high school.
That's right.
I was high school.
Wow.
That's fighting words. Oh, thank you, brother. Y'all right.
To tighten it down there at the bottom. I think that's why I keep spinning around that little one down there. Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Yeah, that was fighting words. But
Right.
I knew then, I could not start
thank
fighting.
you, Steve.
I could not start fighting at school because I had a bigger goal in mind.
Right.
Trying to go to college, but talking about being traumatized and walking around, you already know you got a deficit in reading.
Yeah.
But you survive it.
Right.
And then to have that knocked
Then add it to you.
And you can't say nothing to anybody. It's like, oh man. And I didn't run around tell my friends because that could start more issues. So I just had to leave it right here. I didn't tell my parents, didn't tell the school counselor, didn't tell the teacher, didn't tell security, didn't tell nobody. Just until right now I'm telling you guys.
Wow.
Right.
But that was a tough blow.
And you make me think now as a parent, because you didn't unpack that, right? So you probably found yourself real critical on your kids. And that's, you really was fighting. I don't want you to go through, but you probably caused some stuff for them because, well, come on, do it right. People gonna be like, did you go through that?
That is true. I did.
And they like, where's it coming from? It's coming from
what I experienced as a teenager. Yeah.
Because as men, we talk again. We taught to keep it to ourselves. You don't share it, and even as a kid, you had that pain, And then it came, even though you thought you was over, you really wasn't over it because it came out doing being a father, being a parent. Yes. Wow, you see what I'm saying? And that's when we don't unpack. We I got it together. And actually, we still dealing with it.
Right.
But it comes out in different forms.
Different forms.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, it does.
This is good. Just talking about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't it feel
Right.
good?
Right. I got a question. I got a question for you, Dr. Casey.
Yeah.
So you see how we're talking about this,
Mm-hmm.
and we dealing with the trauma.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to unpack it.
Yeah.
So how is it that I'm comfortable, talking to you about this? How do I go to my parents and talk to them? Because at the end of the day, I still feel like I need to talk to them about what I did. I've never told them this. Never.
Mm-hmm.
I never asked, why did you guys do this? Or why did you, why you guys didn't fight for us to get me and my brothers back?
Mm-hmm.
Why did you just let it go? Because now, like you said, Derek, the things you dealt with, and then, with your kids, with me, I have custody of my 12-year-old now because she was going to be going through what I went through. And as a parent, I said, I can't do that.
Right.
She's mine. Give her to me.
Right.
But I'm trying to figure out, how do I, talk to my parents to let them know, what I feel and what I was feeling back then.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can open up to Rodney. I can open up to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm comfortable like this. But if somebody was like, well, go talk to your parents about it. Because you ever heard that? Well, go talk to them about it. You got the issue with them. Go talk to them about it. And it's just like, well, I can't. So how do I do that?
Good question.
To not just blankly come out, well, why did you guys do this? How can I start off with, this is what I've been feeling, because at the end of the day, I have to, I'm unpacking with you guys, but don't I got to unpack it with them also?
You don't have to, but it's good. It'll help you though, because you like, let me ask you, are you looking for a response from them?
I think I'm looking for closure.
Okay, because for us, like you said, you could talk to me and you could talk to Rodney, but you're not looking for us to accept blame. So it's a little easier. But are you looking for them to accept blame?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah.
I don't.
So, yeah, so then I would just have a conversation. If you can have a conversation, because I've directed people to do that. They just don't look for nothing and respond. It's for you to share it. I'm not, and you tell them, I'm not looking for you. I had a patient come back and say, at work, I told him, I don't look for you to say I was wrong. I just need to get it off me.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that's it. So if you ain't looking for nothing, just say, I'm not trying to make you feel bad, but I want you to know what I experienced and it hurt me. Right. If you can add some stuff to that, it'd be great. If not, just want you to know I still love you. You're my parents. But those years were rough for me. And I don't understand how you didn't fight for us.
Right.
And that makes me think about, I know what you're going through with your kids. That's why you're like, I want to fight for them. It hurt you.
Right.
Because you know what you went through, not having them there and going from house to house.
Right.
And then getting beat at those houses. And not loved, and you just left me there.
Yeah.
So, you just say, I need to have a conversation with you guys. I'm not trying to make you feel a certain way, but I got to get this out of me.
Right.
Because it's coming out. It can come out in different ways as a father or a parent, where you don't let your kids do nothing. You're super guarded. You're afraid something will happen to them.
Yeah.
That's happened.
Yeah. And I'm telling them, well, you got to talk to me. And my wife, she'll pull me to the side. Come here. She's like, maybe the way you're coming off at her is not, she's not hearing you. She's not listening. You gotta be. And I'm like, no, I need her to talk to her. I need her to open up. Let me know what's going on. And when I sit back and I think about what I said, man, baby, So, I go in there, close the door and I talk to my baby, but
that's that trauma, because what you went through, like, I'm there. There's got to be something going on. Tell me what's going on.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what it is too. Yes.
And so now, now what's going to happen? Now you got to know where it's coming from. Or not, your daughter's not. I'm afraid to talk to you because you're so rough with it.
Right. That's it. That's it right there.
But it's coming from now. How you help your daughter if you want to talk to her. Say, why I talked to her because of what I went through. So you have to. So sometimes you tell what you went through. Well, I don't want to know I went through that. Why? That's what we miss up as men, especially Black culture.
The secrets.
The
secrets.
Hiding
everything.
When you go to the doctor, they say, any heart disease in your family? I said, I don't need nobody talked about it. Anybody have thyroids? I don't know. Nobody never talked about it.
Yep.
My mom, she's like, she said, Casey, we all, they asked me, have you went through this? Any of this type of illness in your family? She said, I don't know. We always so secretive.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't get the help. We don't know if they have breast cancer in the family. We don't even know if they, and so I would say, start with your daughter first. And say, I need to apologize first how I talked to you guys. It's come from my trauma. You know what I went through when I was little?
Mm-hmm.
Don't more you talk about unpack trauma, let's get rid of that shame with it. It's just your experience. It's your story. You're like, this happened. I got beat over here. You know, if it was molestation, you know, you got to go into detail, but this happened to me. I was abandoned. So that's why I come to you now, and I want to apologize for that. So when I'm probing, because I just want to make sure, because nobody was there for me.
Mm-hmm.
She said, oh, and she might hug like, oh, Dad's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like she might think you just want to be nosy. You're like getting on my nerves.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't know where it's coming from. If you tell me where it's coming from, then like, oh, I got it. So like even in marriages, you're like, I know I'm like this because this happened to this person cheated on me. So that's why I'm like this. That's why I'm insecure.
Right.
Oh, I didn't know. Then people can have compassion behind it. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So I would say, you can have a conversation with your parents and say, but don't look for nothing. I would love for you to have a conversation with your kids. Yeah. The daughter, like, oh, even with your wife. Do your wife know all the details you went through? Does she know what you went through?
Some things.
Not all of it, huh?
Not all of it, no.
Yeah, that's what. Then she can understand you. Oh, okay. Yeah, just because I didn't tell you I forgot to buy some eggs, you went off. Yeah, because I'm tired of you keeping secrets from me. And then you begin to punish them back by keeping secrets.
Yep. Man, we hit it.
We hitting it. We hitting it, brother.
Yeah, that's it.
Give me some.
Right.
Come on, I'm telling you, man.
Yeah. You're right. Once you share those things in any relationship, I did this with my boss recently. Mm-hmm. So, man, I'm trying to think where to even start with him. I questioned him about something because the way he said it. And this is just a couple of months ago, right before we started this.
What race was it?
And he's a Mexican.
Okay.
And so I called him back after this meeting. I said, hey, I'm trying to see, did I do something wrong? And I know that came from childhood. I already know where that comes from because I felt like, man, I can't do nothing right. I hate steam cleaning to this day because I steam clean. I know this might seem funny to y'all, but it was huge to me. Mm-hmm. And I do it. I'm okay. And then somebody come back and re-steam the whole floor. I know in their mind they didn't see, but it hurt me for life. Those type of things. Right. You do it and somebody come in. So what I did was not good enough. And that planted some deep seeds in me. And it started from a little kid. So no matter what you do, it's not good enough. So my boss, so when he says something, I said, hey, did I not do this right, whatever? And he stopped me. He said, no, that didn't mean that you didn't do anything right or you did it wrong or whatever. And I said, you know what, man, I'm sorry, man. I said, let me tell you why I do that. And I kind of went through that story and every job. I said, no matter what I do, it's like I can do the same thing as some ethnicities. Because see, that also crossed into that too. And I do the exact same thing, but I'm always viewed differently or negative. Right now, I don't wear a ball cap usually when I drive in my car because I wear the ball cap in my mind. To them, I'm a gangbanger. White dude wear a hat, nothing personal against ethnicities because I'm not racist, but I'm just living what my experience has been. He wear the hat, he cool. I wear the hat, I'm a thug. I've been in the suit and I go in there, win a contest, and somebody say something about a pimp. Now, y'all know me. And I said, why is it that when I put a suit on, I'm a pimp? Out of all the things you could have said. I'm not a businessman, though. And this is kind of life I've been living. No matter what I do, I always got to be something else or better than. So I know that all my dressing ties to all this is all part of the same thing. So when I told my boss this, he said, you know what, man, thanks for sharing that. Wow. He said, I get it. He said, well, and then he shared with me because we looked at why this dude always got a chip on his shoulder? He always got to prove he the boss. So this is what because he's a minority as well. And he said, you know what? He said, man, I'm the manager. He said, people come in the room looking for the manager. They look and see me and walk out the door, come back 2 or 3. Hey, I'm looking for the manager. He said, I am the manager. So he always feel like he got to prove that he's the manager. So that's how that's why he comes off that way. So after we had that conversation, I see him differently and our relationship is different.
I bet you got a good relationship.
It's cool now. Yeah. Right.
Past trauma.
When we shared it, Because sometimes I can see in your situation, you just need to speak yourself. They don't even really say anything.
Right.
You want to be heard how you felt about what happened all that time.
Yep.
And you want them to hear it.
Right. Yep.
Your pain. You want them to hear that.
Yep.
You know, so you the doctor, I would say do that before they pass away.
Oh no, please do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do that before funeral. Because you're going to live with that if you don't. You need to do that before they pass away. And like you said, don't expect nothing because you just need to be heard.
Right. That's it.
Because you was hurt. You just want to let them know, man, you hurt me.
Right.
That was painful.
Man, yeah.
Yeah.
You need to be heard, and I get it. Because sometimes we just need to be heard. We're not expecting, can't go back and change nothing.
No.
If the DeLorean existed, I would have had it already.
Yes.
I'm a time traveling person, and the reason why I know why is if you haven't seen Back to the Future, the reason why all the time travel movies I've been a big fan because I always want to go back and change something to fix my life differently, so my life now will be different. And the Lord dealt with me after doing a show, a relationship show on forgiveness. Man, I never forget. I had an epiphany after the show about forgiveness. We're dealing with relationship. Look, you got to forgive, blah, blah, blah. And I got back home and I sat in the car and, man, the voices started talking. I said, I've been sitting here all this time trying to go back and fix something. You can't. You can't go back and change that. You can't go back and change it. So I just release it, share what I need to share, and move forward. And, man, I had a breakthrough that night after my own show.
I'm telling you, that's breakthrough, and then by you sharing with your boss.
That was great.
When you share, because intimacy is revealing deep secrets. Most time we stay away from intimacy. That's why the wife say, "I don't know you," because having sex is not intimacy.
No,
for men, you hump a
True.
rabbit, rub two sticks together. But intimacy is going deep, and they can feel that connection.
Right.
But people don't do intimacy if you haven't processed trauma. Because trauma, to go to intimacy, deeper, revealing deep secrets, it takes you back to trauma because you got to open up to you got to be vulnerable. And so I would say do it. Rodney said that for sure. And then also share with your wife and kids why I'm made up like this. They're going to hear you. They're going to Dad, I'm good. Because they're going to make sure that you don't feel bad either.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
If you come in there like, oh my God, we just talked about this.
Yeah.
Right.
I guarantee you have I want to hear about it next time. I want to go to another part. Man, this is good. Y'all enjoying yourself? So
Yeah,
far?
this is good. Yeah.
Okay, y'all ain't got to use the restroom, do y'all? Y'all good?
No.
We're good.
I want to talk about marriage and divorce. So you've been divorced, and if you don't mind, do you want to talk about it? It's okay. How did divorce affect? Because a lot of men deal with. You said you went three times. My brother been married. He's so funny. He don't want to get mad, so it's on the show. But he got a tattoo with 3 X's. So he's with 3 X's. So I thought it was a triple X. That's all. He trying to get a little hard with his stuff. He said, "No, let's make sure I don't get married again." It failed 3 times. It didn't work. He got married again. Yeah. But I let him tell the rest of that story. However, but marriage is rough. Yeah, it's
Two people blending. Yeah.
Just because I'm married a long time don't mean it's been perfect. We tell you with divorce. So
Right.
don't let it pop put that on. So divorce. A lot of people. I was read a lot of people deal with that. That's traumatic.
That's traumatic, man.
Why was it so hard for you?
So, I had gotten married, and I thought went through college. Thought that my life was going to be all right. I did all the steps I thought was right. Had dated before, and you don't worry about a breakup when you date. But then once you're married, it's the vow, it's the law involved, it's God involved, it's families involved, and it's not just a breakup. It's a union more so. And so when it happened to me, I was just kind of thrown.
Okay.
My parents have been married for a long time, since 1965.
Ooh, long time.
Long time. So, it just wasn't something I was used to seeing. Or not only just seeing physically, but the hurt of it all. It wasn't a thing where I just was like, oh, okay, whatever. Let's move on.
Right.
It hurt me. It kind of messed me up.
The divorce did.
The divorce. Yeah, the divorce. And so I think the whole concept of marriage and then it falling apart, you know, that kind of just messed me up. It was something that just didn't want to move past, you know. So I had to come to the realization that it wasn't the other person, it was me too.